The Mozart Myth by Elijah Chang. The myth. For many years, researchers and parents alike have claimed that exposure to Mozart music aids in the mental development of infants, so much so that it can boost their intelligence and IQ later in life. Many people today believe firmly in the research and experimental science behind this accusation, but let me tell you that this myth is indeed a myth. Origin of the myth. This myth began in the experimental laboratory of Dr. John Campbell in 1991. He subjected his patients to a primary paper folding task. After, he subjected these patients to 20 minutes of Mozart music. After their exposure to Mozart music, he had them complete the same paper folding task. The results was that all subjects completed the task faster than the first time before they were exposed to Mozart music. Dr. John Campbell quickly drew the conclusion that infants exposed to Mozart music develop intellectually faster than their peers and in the long run could have higher IQs. Effect of the myth. This study was published as the Mozart effect and started a craze among desperate parents who wanted to give their children an advantage over their peers when it came to early intelligence. Millions of dollars were pumped into the early educational product market. Mozart CDs flew off the shelves. By 2001, the craze was still strong, and a national poll conducted that 80% of all Americans knew about the Mozart effect, and 70% believed in it as well. Belief in the myth. I asked three of my fish buddies whether they heard of the Mozart effect, or if they believed in it. Undoubtedly, they all knew of it and believed in it also. This illustrates how widespread and accepted this myth really is. Myth debunked. In 2001, three psychologists not associated with any early educational institution or funding source conducted a similar experiment to the one that Dr. Don Campbell conducted 10 years earlier. These psychologists had their subjects listen to Mozart music. Afterwards, they had their subjects complete a paper folding task, plus an additional emotional arousal evaluation and statistical task. The results was that the students improved in the paper cutting task, but not the emotional arousal evaluation and definitely not the statistical task. As it turns out, the only task that correlates to the intelligence of an individual was that statistical task. Myth debunk continued. In conclusion, Mozart music failed to prove scores in the evaluation that proved to correlate with mental and intelligence and development. Furthermore, the data and results published that supports the Mozart effect is not reliable. In Dr. Don Campbell's study, the subjects were not infants, but adults. The experiment done by Dr. Don Campbell and the results obtained from the study are not reliable, but based on misrepresentation of the subject pool. There is no positive proof that any music improves intelligence of infants because in all studies conducted on the subject, all participants were adults, not infants. Sources cited.